Hi, everyone. Welcome back to What is Up with Mental Health and Everything Else. I'm Latavia Balmer, and I will be your host tonight. And again, I am here with the personal counselor, Brendan Sherd. And tonight, we are introducing you to what is up with the systematic bias within the minority communities.
Yeah. Tonight's going to be a good topic because, with the systemic bias in minority communities, this impacts all of us. If you are a person of color or in a minority group, somewhere down the line, there has been some type of systemic bias that either you have internalized um, and within that minority group, or maybe has been outwardly expressed to you by whether it be the majority group or the more dominant group, as they say, or even by another minority group, because it happens
Yeah,
within
definitely.
multiple minority groups. But
Yeah.
systemic
It's like,
bias, what you want to start? We want to define it?
you could define it. You got
I
it.
gotcha. All right. So, systemic bias. Like, I would think that systemic bias is this idea that people, especially within the minority groups, um, are subjected to certain experiences or phenomena that happen to the group and are within the group. It's like a kind of attitude that others may have about a group and are about how the group has within themselves. And with the bias, it can be used in a positive or a negative way, but it's like a categorizing and or a grouping. Um, and you can find things like examples of oppression within a systemic bias, or you can find things like pride being on the opposite end of the spectrum within a systemic
Oh,
bias.
yeah, definitely.
Um, that's my way of defining it.
Yeah. See, I just feel as though there shouldn't be any biases in the
Hmm.
world. We are all equal,
Hmm.
or what America likes to paint. We should all be equal. We're created equal.
Hmm.
So I feel as though we're all human. We all have the same organs, whatever. We breathe the same things of that nature.
Hmm.
So why do we turn into each other or turn against each other, especially in the minority community? Like, we should stand together, and overcome so many years of oppression. You know, we have to catch up. So, in my view, I'm just on the side of, when are we gonna come together? When are we going to be a community, really?
Hmm.
Because everyone was, oh, the minority community, black community, Hispanic community, Indian community, Asian community. But when are we going to all come together and we are one? So this is what this topic is really about. We're trying to get to the root of the issue.
Yes.
And many issues are in our community because of something internalized outside of our community. So once we get to address, like, wait, why I'm treating my brother like this? Why I'm treating my sister like this?
Hmm.
Then you have to think deeper. Like, this is rooted in me from generations before me, because it was rooted in them by someone who was in power, who seemed to know more than them, and they treated them away, and now that's how they feel towards themselves and feels to other people that look like them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely agree with that. I mean, I'll probably use some personal experiences to kind of explain how systemic biases has worked throughout my life. And, I'm gonna just try to be kind of authentic and genuine as I say this because, um, I mean, I just feel like in my lifetime, I've spent a lot of time and dedicated a lot of time to pursuing a lot of academic uh, degrees, right? I currently have my master's right now. And, you know, at one point in my life, let's say middle school, high school, um, an attitude that others gave me then for having an interest in like going to school. And I'm not gonna lie, this was from members of my own community where it's like, you know, like, why you want to go to school? Like, were you too good for us? Oh, you. I've even been called like a white boy sometimes for the way that I talk, for my desire to go to school, and it's like, where does that idea come from? Like, well, what? I know I'm African American. Like, I have the opportunity to go to school, from an objective standpoint. And that's what, when you start looking at things from an objective standpoint,
Yeah.
that's how we get to this place of like being equals, because that experience, like education, can be, good for me, good for you, good for the next person.
Exactly.
The opportunity it was there for me, and I had to ward off against attitudes or biases that it may be ingrained in culture that would like to like move me away from pursuing an educational degree.
Yeah.
And why? Like why? Why?
Like,
Why would we do that?
right, like everyone should want, like in our community, should want of education because it was denied to
Yes.
us
Oh my God.
forever.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
why are you looking at someone who, like, I want to go to school, I want to better myself, I want to learn.
Mhm.
Like, we're trying to be better,
Right.
build our community. You should be proud of that. You should be proud that another fellow brother is doing some good and not looking down at them or teasing them and making it seem like they're doing something opposite of what we're supposed to do. And it always come back to what we're supposed to do. Like, we're supposed to live our life to the fullest, make our dreams come true, be happy, take care of the people that we love and care about and that take care of us. Like, we're supposed to create legacies as we are on this earth. So why are you making it seem like it's a bad idea? But then you have to think about it. It's not because that's how they feel. It was something that was taught to them because, again, what we supposed to do. Like I said, generations before us and before us and before us. And then you got to look at how we live, Everything is in our community. Like, we live in poverty line communities.
Which definitely
can affect someone. And then our public schools, they aren't no better,
So and then in those type of environments, and then with like a public school system that's lacking adequate resources, the perhaps the opportunity to live a better life dwindles. Like, not even the opportunity, but the hope within oneself that they could even obtain a better life for them through education or through, like a high paying job, maybe out of school.
Definitely.
Doesn't seem as possible because I've never had nothing to begin with.
Yeah.
And, it may have even developed this attitude where, like, we don't go to school because nobody really even cares about us.
Yeah.
It's there's a concept of like learned helplessness that can be another bias within minority communities. Where it's never been good, so why are you going to try to convince me to make something good now?
Yeah.
I'm just here.
Yeah.
And,
Definitely. What I feel about that is more so like people always are going to look at the mass of it all. So if they see the majority of the successors aren't the same color as them, they don't feel as motivated. They're like, if I try, how far am I going to get? Because we have so many trials and tribulations to overcome.
Yes.
We have to work hard to work harder, to work harder and harder to get to that part. So,
it's like that one attitude of, as African American, I have to work twice as hard as the average person because I always have to prove myself.
Yeah, and imagine being a woman. No,
Right?
you gotta work 3 times as hard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Definitely.
it's like that. Those two components, both standing in like a minority group or not within the dominant group.
Yeah.
Talk about patriarchy, society, and whatnot. There's that systemic bias that's working against you, making the efforts that you have to do, you have to do it more to basically like defy that, to prove it wrong, to let them know that you're wrong about this attitude, this bias that you have against us.
Yeah.
Like,
You're wrong about the norms, you
there you
know?
go.
The
Yeah.
normality of what any community have to be, you know? But I just feel as though us as minorities, we should stop looking at each other as an enemy and start looking at each other as family,
Yeah.
you know? We have to tackle what has been a constant obstacle for all of us, you know, and I applaud the ones who are up there,
Yeah.
you know, who are, you know, they got out of what they were born into. They worked hard, but imagine how much harder they're still working.
Yeah, like trying to catch up to those who've had better starting points than
Yeah.
us. You know, like what for minority groups now? Some of us, or you know, some of our more popular artists and celebrities, you know, they're entering now into like the billionaire status, like Rihanna, right?
Yeah.
Fenty and her glorious albums. Like, can't wait for her.
Yes.
You know, she hit that billionaire status, and she's probably one of the first, maybe African American, or actually
No, she's Bayesian.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Put some respect on the Caribbean.
I had that. You right. My bad, y'all. But I mean, even to prove the point, though, like you know, especially from that ethnic group.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if she's the absolute first, but I'm sure she's within the top 5 or 10 of that group to have become a billionaire status.
Yeah.
And you know, but it's a great representation of what is possible. But she's one of the first. Where in the dominant culture, like, I mean, there's probably too many to count.
Yeah, it
who have
should.
achieved that status.
Even though it is a magnificent achievement to be in the first at anything, you know, you're creating history, you know, so that's good. But it's also a problem. Why is it that it is now 2022 and we get so crazy when we see that someone our skin color or amongst the minority group has become number one? Of course we're going to be happy. I'm not saying that. Of course we're going to be happy that someone's making history. But in 2022, we're still talking about the first Black, the first Asian, the first Dominican, the first, when we should have generation of the first, you know? So now we're just following up.
Yeah.
We're there. So I feel like that's a problem that now, like, everybody is just out to be the first. And then because everyone is out for that first place ticket, they turn a blind eye to what really is needed, you know?
Yeah, like, you know, for one, it's like you said, 2022, and there's a lot of the first things happening, which is like, you know, a celebration that it's happening, right? You know, I'm so happy and so grateful that these opportunities and these pathways are being created right in front of our eyes. But it's 2022, like, how we're like, this is the first time for us, while others have definitely accomplished this so many times. Like, and like, how far along are we? Like, we're making strides, right? But like, has that goalpost even went further? Like, I don't know.
We're racing to struggle in a way, or we're struggling to race, however you want to say. Because as much as we make our milestones, someone has already made that, and
Yeah.
we're catching up. But I'm
And,
honest.
and then with systemic bias, it's um, like there's been so much in the past that never even allowed us to be the first of monumental things. Um, this is going back to like slavery and Jim Crow
Slavery.
laws. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I needed to put some emphasis
Yeah.
on slavery
Mm-hmm.
because we are still not free. I'm sorry. We're still not free.
You think so?
I definitely believe
Think
that.
so?
I definitely believe
Don't
that.
speak your mind. Listen.
Like, we're not free at all. Everyone, it says it in the Constitution. It says it. We're free to speak our minds, free to do whatever we want, whatever, whatever. But if you think about it, we are still in those same shackles that our ancestors were in. It's rooted in everything that makes us who we are. Our school systems, I said school systems, our medical systems, business, anything that we need to continue to live. Discrimination is still a thing. Definitely still a thing. So I feel like every day we're fighting to really become free. Because if you think about it, everything that happened in the past was not that long ago.
This is true.
It is
This
not
is
that
true.
long ago.
I mean, my parents tell stories about some of the experiences they've been through as Jim Crow laws were being expelled. They were young, like they were in their teens when this was happening, but you know, for sure within their mindset and psyche, like there was a time they were living where they had to go over, to the right and they weren't allowed to go to the left.
Which is unbelievable. That is just unbelievable. I'm sorry. If I was living in that time, you can't tell me where I cannot walk. These are my legs that God blessed me with. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's still one of those things. Like, I remember a couple of days ago, I was sitting in one of the offices here at Bloomfield, and I overheard somebody say, whenever I'm around white people, I'm afraid. And I'm like, why are you afraid?
Yeah.
They're like, they just give me the heebie-jeebies. And I'm like, are you afraid of what they might think of you? Or what you might think of yourself and you're projecting? She's like, white people are dangerous. And I'm like,
okay. That's a bias. I mean, perhaps I don't know the experience that the student may have had with white people or Caucasian people. Whether that's been a lot or none at all, or whether maybe there's been a rare couple times that there was an encounter with another Caucasian white person, and it was just like they literally did something negative to that person. What has happened for them to shape that idea?
to them or to us as a community, it's in general.
I say that because, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of, or I have, no, I can say I have a lot of Caucasian friends, right?
That's okay.
I've never had bad encounters, very respectful, and it's a two-way street. To a point where I've been able to be comfortable around my white folks, right? To say that one is possible, that even though they, I guess, literally have different skin tones, right, than us, it doesn't have to mean anything.
But I'm happy you have a great experience,
Hey,
but
and that's why it's my experience.
Yeah.
I'm saying I know that cannot apply for everybody.
Because
So,
you have an experience. It's still there. Like sometimes it's subtle, or it's big. Like I can say I went to a predominantly white institution before I transferred over to Bloomfield College.
okay.
And it was one of my dream schools because it was so big and they had a amazing psychology program. So I'm like, okay, I'm a little shy. Let me, try to go to somewhere bigger where I can probably thrive. So going there, even though I did suffer a little bit of imposter syndrome because where I come from,
Yeah, indeed.
it was still a bad experience knowing that there weren't people enough that looked like me to comfort me, and or the people that's there, the majority of the people that are there, they weren't as comforting as I would have hoped. They were mean. They were belittling, and I was a student in my writing class. And as I'm trying to advise someone else who needs help in their writing, they dismiss what I know. They laugh and they're like, "You're wrong." And I'm like, but I'm passing. I'm helping you. I'm trying to help
Right.
you. And they're looking at me like, no, you're wrong. I got it. I don't need your help. Like, type. And I'm like,
I see.
oh, okay. Well, I keep my knowledge to myself and you throw that out on your own. But it was not a good experience. It hurt me to know that there's still so much we have to work through to get to what we need,
Yeah. I mean, how long ago was that?
This was my first year of college. So this was in 2020. It wasn't that long
Right. So,
ago.
yeah, this century, right?
Yeah.
This decade. Okay, and you know what? That each person's experience, I can't take that away. I can't say, oh, you're wrong for not liking white people, like because I've had a positive experience, let's say, and you've had your experience is your experience, my experience,
Right.
and if I can make any suggestion with people who have not even opposing viewpoints, but just literally different experiences, if they're able to talk like how we are right now about, opposing or things that have been different from one another within that same topic of like knowing Caucasian people, white people. That's how we perhaps can get somewhere. Or like perhaps. That's how we can push like towards something. Like, my heart goes out to you like for what you went through. And like, okay, so yeah, there is more work to do. And your story shows that. But I think I would share my story to say like, there is a possibility that doesn't have to be the only experience you have. Because I would say in the mind's working, like this is where stereotypes and biases might even come from in general, where it's like I had my one encounter with, let's say, an ethnic group. It wasn't good. And you know what? Now I don't trust any of them. Or it's true what they say about them.
That happens.
And then that's it. Like you're written off. And it can't, I mean, with an attitude like that, we'll never get anywhere.
Yeah.
Not saying you didn't experience what you experienced, but if we're moving, the goal is for unity. We have to find another way to combat what happened. Make sure it doesn't happen again. But then, like, build this pot of unity.
Yeah. It not happen again is like highly unlikely because it's like it's taught. You're my age. It's from someone so young, my age, treating me as though I'm not on her level or my academic level is just beneath her because of what she has heard or what she knows from where I come from. So it's scary knowing that people this young still thinks this way. So how can we actually become united if our young ones are still in the mindset of what happened in the past, treating us how our ancestors were treated, and so forth and so on. So I wouldn't say that one particular situation have me like, oh, I had it out for people like her. No, because I honestly have very nice elementary school teachers, professors, who are Caucasian, if you will, and they're really comforting. You know, a lot of them love me. They treat me like their daughter, and I appreciate the interaction. I appreciate the relationship, but it's not enough of them, and that is the problem. It is not enough of them. So we can unite with them, yeah. You know, we could fight power. You know, power to the people. But if it's still a lot of people that we have to win over, then that is an issue. You know?
You know what? It is an issue, and I mean, so we still have a long ways to go.
Definitely.
We have to keep moving. We have to keep fighting.
And it starts within us too. Like you have to have change. You have to change within to change without, and it's definitely in our communities, and we need to address it because a lot of you guys you turn blind eye and you think that it's not a recurrent issue and that it doesn't matter to you, it doesn't occur to you, but it does. You are a part of it. You are the part of the problem if you don't want to address it, if you don't want to say anything about it, speak up against it, you are a part of the problem.
Yeah, I mean, like, in times nowadays, you know, like, well, I'll say this: if we want to push this fight for, you know, equality, of course, right?
Yeah.
Which I know your story was a lot about. Like, hey, you know, I'm as good, if not better.
Yeah, I'm her.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm
her. Yeah, you know, what would push that messaging even better is to see a lot more unity within our group. Like, you know, we have to love ourselves.
Yeah, support is a strong strength.
Yeah, like continue to love ourselves, support our entities, you know, support Black business. Amen to that.
And Latino businesses.
Hey, too. And Latino businesses.
Asian, you know? As well.
That's
Indian as well.
Absolutely. You know, harmonize within our own groups.
Yeah.
And bring that love and show that love to other groups. And they'll see it. I mean, I do believe that.
Yeah.
That has to be I believe if we are able to unite more and do more positively within our group,
yeah,
it will show. It will definitely start to change any negative narratives.
Definitely.
And we're advancing forward.
That's the mission. Mm-hmm. The mission is to advance forward.
Absolutely.
But we can't get caught up in the distractions, you know. Because I'm going to tell you right now, right here.
Right now.
They do distract us a lot. Okay?
What distraction?
Well, I'm not distracted. I'm pretty much focused. That's why I'm on this podcast right now. I'm speaking my piece. I'm not distracted. But there are distractions out here taking away the real issue. The issue is changing our systems, changing what America was built on, changing what our communities allow to be told about them. And, you know, our communities actively act on these things to make it seem as true, and it's not. And also us just kind of looking down on ourselves to be equal to our oppressors. You know, we want to be up there. We all want to be part of the 1%, you know, because we never had nothing. And that's true. We never had nothing, and we're trying to make up for the things that we never had. But in order to do that, we have to support our people.
Yeah.
Right? We have to support, we have to fight, we have to stand up, and we have to address every issue that there is. Like, just us. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and this probably might just be an opinion of mine. I feel like minorities, I do believe we outnumber.
You know what? I mean, I would definitely want to get all the statistics and data, but I think it's getting to that point.
Yeah.
I really think so.
And I'm just like, I see it so much of what I'm talking about right now, about the systematic bias, the racism, the discrimination, the hatred, all of it. It's it's from them. We feel it, but it's more so here. It's in the heart of where we belong. And of course, everyone's gonna have this mindset that it's an eat dog, be or
Yeah, dog eat dog world.
type.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it really?
I don't want it to be.
Like, is it really?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely know people have that attitude. Well, especially American society is kind of built around that. Like, we got like in the essence of capitalism and like this individualized approach that we have. Some cultures have this collective approach where family and extended family is important to them. It's important to their dynamic and way they go about life. But in America, you can definitely hear this message that, once you turn 18, you on your own.
Oh, definitely heard that a lot. I'm like, I'm still a kid.
I know. Like,
wow.
Especially if you don't go off to school, or do this right way of passage, if you will, which nowadays, which I give kudos to. I see a lot more minorities going to school, and I think it's beautiful.
That is great. Yeah, definitely.
And like, but if not, it's if you don't follow maybe that route, you become an adult, I guess, overnight once you I guess graduate high school.
Yeah.
Enter the workforce.
What my mother always told me? She was like, you only got 18 years with me. You only have 18 years with me. And I'm like, okay. So when I'm still in high school as a senior and I turn 18, I had it in my mind like, oh yeah, I'm grown. And now that I'm 21, legally grown, or to do everything.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to myself like, child, grown to do what? To do what? Because right now I still feel like a kid majority of the time. Like, and I was like, who just said, once a child becomes 18, they're grown or whatever.
The legal system.
Yeah.
Well, I brought that up because, like, going back to this dog eat dog mentality. I mean, America, that would, some people would say that's what drives the beauty of America.
What beauty?
No, the competition. why we can, the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
Go here to make all the money that you can. I mean, it's in one respect, it's like I get to have a better life. In another respect, it's like you get to be greedy. And, the 1%.
Yeah.
Greedy.
The competition aspect of this whole thing is crazy because I've noticed, like, you open so many doors to so many opportunities if you help the next person out.
Yeah.
If you just, be a helping hand, you don't know how far you can get because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who you're standing next to. So if you like, I'm here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is myself. And you go talk to someone who can give you an opportunity to succeed your purpose, and you start talking to them crazy, you're never gonna have nothing.
Perhaps we can move faster in our progressions in this life, if we learn how to work more with others,
Yeah.
support one another, be around, have more people that are like minded and productive and ready to look towards something positive,
Yeah.
and really just connect in that form and go for it. It's like the
Yeah.
classic two minds are better than one,
Exactly.
right?
Like a sense of community is very much needed.
Yeah.
In these times, like I know COVID knocked a lot of people off their
Right back to isolation.
yeah. But a sense of community is very much needed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it just overall, it can just be better. I mean, like more effective. You make wiser decisions because you're in counsel with others who maybe they can teach something, or you can learn from their experience. Um, I just like I said, we might make this game. We might move faster.
Yeah.
More
It
faster.
could be more peaceful. But it was a you want to say more?
Oh no! There's
Okay.
always two sides to a coin.
Definitely. It's
Yeah.
always two sides to a point. And with that, we're going to wrap this podcast up, this topic, because it was just an introduction.
Oh yeah,
It's just a little taste.
There's so much
So
that can be
much.
said about this, and if anybody watching this at Bloomfield has a perspective to bring, or has opinions about it, want to join this conversation with us, by all means, I
Definitely.
believe the link to join the podcast is still on the webpage.
Yep, it's in our bio.
Yes, and systemic bias. That was today's topic, and if you
Yeah.
want to,
And it gets very much deeper,
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't want to spring it up on y'all too quickly.
He was there a little.
But we're gonna get to the root of the issue and we're gonna break it down. And we would love to have supporters who also want to voice their opinion. You want to know what their experience is like, what they want to see better. Because how many days we have of the year?
Of the year?
Yeah.
365 days in the year. Is that
No,
what you mean?
remaining.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said in the year, y'all.
No, remaining.
Gosh, we have 3 more weeks. Well, Thanksgiving is next week. Then we have 2 solid weeks in December until the last day of class? Listen, it's been a long day. 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Let's just say 3 weeks.
I would just say the year is wrapping up very much quickly. And we should want to have a better present, a better future.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, we have to have an uprising. Let's change it.
Hey, I mean, unity,
Yeah.
support
Yeah.
to one another, to fellow students, to everywhere on campus. Just support and unity across the board.
Yeah.
We got to get on the same page. What are our goals? What are our missions? What do you want?
I want to change society. I want to change these views. I want to change why everybody think half of the things that we live upon are okay, And in order to do that, I'm going to need a lot of people to help me want to change society.
Let's do it.
You
I want to change and break anything that we can tell ourselves or others can say to another person that limits that person's ability.
Yeah.
Psychologically speaking. The I can't, we got to get rid of it.
Oh, definitely. Do not ever say what you can't do. Always say what you can do.
Got that right.
Because you could do anything you put your mind to.
You just have to believe. I mean, literally believe. Set a goal. Figure out what you need to do to obtain that goal. And just keep thinking in a positive mindset. What you want to accomplish can happen. Make sure it's positive now.
Definitely. But, like I said today, I had a poem because a lot of people were talking about self-love and you have to love yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
but
hard. It can be hard.
Yeah. But you also
you do
have to love yourself fully. You have to address the bad parts of yourself.
Absolutely.
Because you can love all the good parts, but if you don't like the bad parts, if you don't trust them, then how can you accept who you are fully? So to be positive, you also have to know that there is a negative here, and you can either change it or let it change you. So
Right.
yeah,
I become aware of it. Don't try to bury it. Don't try to repress it
no,
because it
definitely
only
don't
is going
try
to
to
rear its ugly
repress it.
head out in the most challenging of ways later. Um, Take inventory. I always will say that so that
So
you can
don't
address
let
it.
so don't let all of these,
Look like you about to sing a song.
no, because I want them to know how serious I am about wanting a better life, wanting a better future, wanting a better America. We have to be fair to all our people. You know,
Absolutely, I agree. I totally
and we
agree.
definitely have to change what this world was built upon. America was built upon what society holds, because society is a strong hold on a lot of people. It has a strong hold.
No, I'm gonna leave you with one question. We're gonna answer this one question, and then we'll leave it there and have it for the listeners to maybe add in as well. Do you think things are getting better or worse, or ever at a
You know,
standstill?
you think it's getting better, then the next day, 10 steps back. And you're just
Okay.
like, what gives? But I do know that it can be better. It definitely can be better. We just have to want it. Everybody, everybody have to just be like, I'm sick of living this way. I'm sick of being on walking on eggshells. I'm sick of judging myself or the next person based off of what this is supposed to be, what this.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a possibility that we are going to be better, but how long is it going to take us?
Good question. Right. Good
So
question. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a good question. I think one thing, at least that I feel like we have a lot more tools and resources and access to information that can perhaps make the situation better.
yeah,
Um, Whether you go to school or not, with Google and the power of the internet, um, I still recommend going to school so you can know and decipher between good information and bad information because there's that part.
definitely.
You got to do your accurate research,
Yeah.
but it's available, which was not the case years ago. So there's no hiding anything anymore, is what I'm saying. And you know, a bad event can be recorded instantly. So it's like, don't try it, right?
Might be mindful type.
Hey, because you can't escape it. Like I said, the tools and resources to elevate the way you go about things, what you know, and how to make money, how to protect yourself, how to advocate for a cause. Um, a lot
Yeah.
is available. So what are you going to do with it?
Right.
And I'm done now.
But I just want to thank everybody for getting this far in the podcast and coming back for our third episode. And as I said before, this is not going to be the first time I speak upon this issue. It was just a taste of what we need to get to and what we are going to get to and what we will discuss in the near future. But is this our last episode of the semester?
No, we have one more on December 8th.
December 8th. I might think about it.
That's the day before
think
the last
about
day
that.
classes. But
Because I'm coming strong for spring semester, and I would love to have a lot of guest speakers and hear a lot of your pieces of what you think of any topic in this world. So thank you once again. Thank you also for being my
glad to be
partner in
here.
this.
It's an honor.
Thank you, everyone. And I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Give thanks to the people that respect you, love you, and take care of you. Yeah.
Yes.
And for that, see you later.
See you later. Get some rest too, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, at least one day. One day of rest.
We almost out of here though. So
Got that right.
we almost there.